Welcome to The Missing Lens, the growth stories for MSME brought to you by MSME Success HQ. And I'm Gunika, your scale architect. In this series, we break down real businesses to understand what large companies see that most founders don't. Because growth is not just about doing more, it is about seeing your business differently. Let me ask you something. In your business today, are you doing more things than before, but still not feeling clear about your growth? Work is happening, team is busy, clients are there, but inside there is a question: where exactly is this business going? Because growth in most MSME businesses does not happen in clean direction. It happens like this: you start with one clear offering, one type of customer, one way of working. Things are simple, you understand everything, you can predict outcomes. Then growth starts. A new client comes, slightly different requirement, you adjust. Another opportunity comes, different segment, you explore. Someone refers a client, a little different but good business, you take it. Team says, let's try this one too, and you agree. And slowly your business start expanding in multiple directions. Different type of clients, different expectations, different pricing logic, different ways of working. Everything is working for you, but something starts becoming unclear. Am I growing your business or I'm just managing day-to-day activities? Now let's look at IKEA. Furniture business is naturally complex. Every customer wants something different: different size, different color, different design, different preferences. And in most businesses, the usual response is simple: we will customize. Because saying no feels like losing business. Now imagine IKEA at that stage. They had the same options: say yes to customers or design the business differently. They chose something very uncomfortable. They decided, we will not customize. Now, don't move ahead quickly. Stay here for a moment. Think about what this means. They are saying no to customers who want variation, customers who want flexibility, customers who want personalization, which means they're consciously losing business. So, why would any founder take that decision? See, IKEA was not trying to win every customer. They were trying to build a system, and system need consistency. The moment you allow customization, design changes, production changes, inventory changes, delivery changes. Everything becomes variable. And when everything becomes variable, you lose control over how the business behaves. Now pause here. In your business, how often do you say, this case is slightly different? Let's adjust a little. That one adjustment feels small, but it changes how your business runs. Because every adjustment introduces variation, and variation has a cost. But here is the real problem: the cost is not visible immediately, it shows up later. Your team starts depending on specific people, execution becomes inconsistent. Some work takes more effort, some clients create more pressure, and slowly you become the person holding everything together. Now look at what IKEA gained by saying no. Because they removed variation, they simplified design, they standardized production, they optimized their supply chain, they reduced the decision making, which means less confusion, less dependency, more predictability. And because of that, they could expand across countries. Same product, same experience, same system. Now let's stay with IKEA a little longer, because saying we will not customize sounds simple, but making that work is not simple at all. In their early days, this was actually their biggest challenge. Customers were not used to this. People would walk in and expect, can you change this size? Can you adjust this design? Can you make it slightly different? And IKEA had to say no. Now think about what that does to business in early days. You're already trying to grow, you need customers, you need revenue, and still you're choosing to say no. That requires a very different way of thinking. So, what did they do instead? They did not ignore their customers. They listened very carefully. But instead of customizing for each customer, they started looking for patterns. What are most people actually looking for? What sizes are commonly needed? What designs are widely accepted? What price point works for maximum people? And then they made a different move. Instead of customizing every product, They standardized what customers need. Not perfect for one person, but useful for many people. This is a very important shift. They move from customer specific solution to system friendly solution. Now, see what this enables. Once you standardize, you can produce at scale, you can maintain consistency, you can reduce cost, you can simplify operations, and most importantly, you can repeat the same model anywhere. Now, look at something else they introduced: flat pack furniture. Customer buys, takes it home, assembles it themselves. Now, think about this. They removed effort from their system and shifted some of it to the customer. Why? Because it made their entire model simpler, less logistic complexity, less assembly dependency, less variation. Again, not customized for each customer, but designed for scale. Now comes the key part. Because their model was consistent and predictable, they did not have to rethink the business every time they expanded. They could take the same model to a new country and it would still work. Same product logic, same system, same experience. Now compare this with a business where every order is different. Every location becomes a new setup. Every team behaves differently. Every outcome is unpredictable. Now, here is something very interesting. IKEA still offers variety, thousands of products, different categories, different styles. So they did not reduce the choices. They changed how choices is created. Instead of customizing each product, they expanded standardized options, which means more SKUs but still controlled, more variety but still consistent. This is a very different way of thinking. Not I will adjust for every customer, but I will design options that work for most customers. Now, pause here. In your business, how are you creating variety? Are you customizing it every time? Or are you building something that can be repeated without changes? And one more thing, IKEA did not stop listening to customers. They just changed how they use that information. Instead of reacting to every request, they use feedback to improve the system, not for one customer, but for all customers. So, here is the real insight. They did not grow by saying yes to everything. They grew by designing a system that could handle growth. And that is a very different way of building a business. Okay, so now let's keep the furniture business aside for a moment. Think about your own business. How many times do you customize your product or service based on what customer asks? Across your current work, how many variation exists today? Different type of clients, different expectation, different way of delivering the same thing. Every time you do this, it feels like a good service. It feels like you are being flexible, you are being responsive, you are taking care of the customer. Sometimes it does bring revenue, but here is the part most founders don't look at. When you keep customizing, you're not just serving customers, you are changing how your business runs. Every customization changes execution, changes timeline, changes effort, changes dependency. Now think about this honestly. Do these customizations strengthen your business or do they create scattered effort? Because not all revenue is equal. Some revenue comes clean, some revenue comes with extra effort, extra follow ups, extra coordination, extra involvement from you. And that difference is your hidden profit leak. So instead of asking, how do I meet every customer's demand? Ask this: what kind of work makes my business stronger? What kind of work keep my team clear and consistent? And what kind of work only adds revenue but increases complexity? Because listening to customer is important, but building your business only based on individual customer request will never create scale. Growth comes when you start seeing patterns, not reacting to every request. This is where founder miss something important. Every new direction you add does not just add revenue. It changes your business. It divides your attention. It stretches your team. It changes how work gets done. And slowly your business becomes a mix of many things instead of being strong at a few things. And this is not because founders don't understand. It is because how our ecosystem in India works. Relationship matter, referrals matter, opportunities matter. Saying no feels risky. What if client leaves us? What if revenue is decreased? What if my team is sitting idle? So we keep adding, even when we feel something is getting diluted. So instead of asking, what should I remove? Ask this. Look at everything running in your business today. Which parts are clear, repeatable, predictable, and which parts are different every time, dependent on people, needing constant adjustment, because the difference is your real growth signal. Large companies don't grow by adding endlessly. They grow by knowing what fits, strengthening what works, and being very clear about what they will not do. Because growth is not just expansion, it is controlled expansion. And this is exactly what we work on inside Founder Reset as part of the Scale Ready CEO journey. Not adding more strategies, but helping you see your business clearly. What is strengthening your business? What is diluting it? Where your effort is actually paying off, and where your profit is leaking because of how the business is structured. Because once you see that clearly, you don't just work harder, you start making sharper decisions, and that's the lens most founders are missing. So, here is something to reflect on. Is your business growing because you are doing more, or because your business is becoming stronger with every step? Because real growth does not come from adding everything, it comes from understanding what actually builds your business. And that brings us back to the question that matters most. Is your business scale ready?